So finally, the United States of America, Rwanda, and Congo have appended their signatures to an agreement that forms something called the Joint Security Coordination Mechanism, JSCM. I'm just looking at the agreement that they signed. It has around 8 key provisions around territorial integrity, prohibition of hostilities, um, disengagement, disarmament, and integration of non-state armed groups, and so on and so forth. Of course, you know, this agreement, its origin is the crisis in the Congo, where, of course, as you know, a lot of these multinationals and foreign governments and neighboring states have been fomenting crisis so that they can get the minerals from the DRC on the cheap. Now, this is not an agreement about peace. We African scholars must make that clear. This is an agreement about the minerals in the DRC. In my past videos, I've said that the DRC is a colony of foreign governments and neighboring states, but most importantly, of multinational corporations from different parts of the world, particularly the developed world. So this agreement is about how to legitimize the illegalities that have been happening in the DRC since the early 1960s, when Patrice Lumumba was killed. And Patrice Lumumba was killed because of his nationalistic approach to not just the governance of the Congo, but also the Congo's mineral wealth. Let's just say that history will record this moment as a pivotal moment in terms of developing Africa's agency. This agreement has taken away the agency of African states at the most crucial time when global realities are changing very fast. When the elections of the African Union Commission were happening, and after that whole controversy, I did say that the next time we shall hear about the African Union is when there's another quarrel about who controls the African Union, basically when there's another election. Now, we've not heard the African Union say anything about this unfortunate happening. We've not heard the African Union say anything about the lack of agency of African states in resolving this very conflict. All we had is meetings happening in Qatar, in Saudi, in the US, all over the place, except where agency should be exercised, here in Africa. This is another move that betrays the Pan-Africanist movement. This is another occasion that tells you that the ruling elites in Africa are the major enemies of Pan-Africanism, because they do not want to take any risks. They do not want to abandon their comfort zones because they are comfortable. So they would rather cede the security of the continent and its mineral wealth and all other wealth within the continent to external forces. The same forces that have been arming rebel groups within the DRC, the same forces that have been arming forces that are fighting in the Sudan, The same forces that are trying to destabilize the Sahel, the same forces that killed Muammar Gaddafi, the same forces that messed up Libya. These are the same forces, ladies and gentlemen, that are now going to be the guarantors of peace in the DRC. Talk about foolishness and lack of urgency.